Welcome back to another Attack on Titan Season 3 review. Today is Episode 7. I'm Justin.
What is up? I'm Logan.
And together we're Shock. As always, we're anime viewers only. We'll discuss the episode and give our scores. Yeah. Ready to jump on into it?
Let's go.
So, a lot of the beginning is just action. Just straight up action. We do get a little bit of them, like Eren,
action.
Historia, and Rice talk about how Frida lives on. Basically because, Liberis can pass through the Titans. And of course, he's got more Titan juice. Some of those.
Titan, which is, I guess, spinal fluid, which is kind of gross.
yeah, Titan juice, man.
We'll stick with Titan juice.
Yeah, but a lot of it is just combat. Jean kills someone for like the first time. A lot of murder going on. There's 35 people they have to kill.
Right.
And Hanji gets hit in there. So there's just lots of stuff going both ways. It was hectic. Yeah, Kenny shows up.
I do like how Armin was explaining, like, yeah, they're good at people killing, but
there are weaknesses.
Right, you gotta shoot, but you also gotta steer with the same thing. I was like, oh.
You also gotta reload.
Right. I also thought it was ironic that the people killing, their weakness is the same as, like, the Titans, exposure to the back.
To the back. Well, one of them did, like, slice them in their neck in the back. It's like they were killing the Titan.
Maybe that's why they were so good at it. They're like, just pretend they're Titans with guns.
And smaller.
And smaller.
Yeah, when Kenny shows up, him and Levi go at it. Levi does get the advantage at the end. But I don't know if it was just me, but the rap music kind of felt a little odd during this.
Yeah, like, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and like it felt like they were boosting it whenever the lyrics were going, and whenever the lyrics weren't going, they like, kind of like faded it back a little bit, and then the lyrics came back, they boosted back up. Like when you had like it just, to me, it doesn't feel like it fits the theme of the show, or at least like the rest of the music kind of has like a theme going with it, goes with the show, kind of like the era kind of wise, and then they're just like, here's some random rap song.
The rap was, it did catch me off guard. I was like, that's a first that I've heard that. Because there have been songs throughout the show with lyrics, which there's nothing wrong against that, but the rap was, I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, it was just like...
Kenny and Levi are just going to bust out in a rap battle next.
Yeah, rap. This is straight up. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I didn't know if you felt the same way or not, but good to know.
It was a bit odd, I'll say that.
But of course, after Kenny gets hit, a lot of people are getting massacred. Like, at least it's not just Kenny that's badass. They got at least one girl there that's also like the strong suit of their squad.
Yeah.
Who's like, all right, let's get back. And then they throw down a net, and that's the last that we see of any of them, really. Except for Kenny, we get more of, but everyone else is like, there's a net. It's like, no, their biggest weakness.
Hey, nets are hard to get through, all right?
It's actually not a bad play. It's like you just can't really go speeding through a net.
Right. I mean, you can cut it, but you have to slow down, and then you're probably going to get shot if you try cutting it. Unless
you just have to send one person really fast through it, so they take the net, and then everyone else follows after that guy so the net's out of the way.
Just like spin a circle through the net for yourself.
We'll kind of see what happens. But when it comes to like Rice, Krista, and Eren, which was like the main focus of the episode, at least after the combat, it was literally just them having conversations, really discussing the past. Right. And the future.
There were lots of big info pieces.
Yes.
That kind of explain
a lot. It goes into depth, like, the caverns were built along with the walls by Titans with certain abilities. Which that Titan was the one that was used to reach the people to basically wipe everyone's memory except for a select few families.
Right. And I mean, that Titan also has all knowledge of all the history, which can only be passed down. So like he even explained, like, because it is kind of weird because it's kind of brought up later. Like this Titan that pretty much controls the other Titans didn't want to destroy them to save humanity. Because even when, like, Krista brings it up, or Historia brings it up later to her father, even her father brought it up to his father, like, why don't you just do this since you have this, you know, this Titan power? Which it is strange, which I want to know the answer to. Like, if you do have this, because why do you need walls if you have this, you know, Ultra Titan that can get rid of the threat? You know?
Well, I think it comes down to like what he was saying towards the end with the whole God factor.
I mean,
Where
yeah, I guess
you basically are the God, and then you just let that take over. It's like, oh, I can control literally everything. Period. I can have whatever I want. Leave the Titans there to basically keep the people underneath my control.
I mean, true.
And I can wipe memories of people if there's any issues. So you basically have full control of the world.
Yeah, I could see that. It is just a bit. I feel like it's an extreme thing to go through.
Hey, well, nothing says these people were good people.
Hey, I have no. They are not good people.
I mean, obviously there's some weird stuff going on with this family passing down. Like, oh, Frida had to eat his uncle. And it's like, the uncle had to eat the father. It's like, okay, we're just going to eat our families to pass on the memories.
Right.
And of course, now the memories are with Eren. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Not
but
like all of them, I guess.
He mentioned the true power can't be unlocked unless it's
goes to the blood.
Yeah, the Rice family blood.
But it's also how much of that is true or not true. Like,
right,
how much have they experimented outside of that, right?
And the Rice fathers
experimented at all.
Yeah, he's very suspicious. Like, because even Historia's like, or someone's like, why does Historia have to do it? Why wouldn't he just eat Eren? You know, like if he wanted to,
he couldn't do it. I wonder if there's a.
Well, why is that? that's oddly convenient.
That is. I was like, I wonder if he's afraid he'll end up like his brother or something like that.
Maybe, or I don't know.
Maybe there's some other reason.
Maybe he's just scared to, you know, turn into
like
a Titan.
Bloodline or something, maybe too. Like,
well, I mean, he'd have to be, right? Because Krista's like, Historia's like half Rice bloodline. Like she's a.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. There must be reasons.
He was adopted. You never know, man. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. We got, and of course he's able to convince Historia at first to do it, and even Eren's like broken down at this point because he saw all the stuff. He's like, you know, if my father didn't do this, and like Frida might have stopped everyone. Actually stopped and eliminated all the Titans, but instead his father stopped her, which of course causes everyone he knows to die.
Right. That is a different side of Eren we don't usually see, because I mean, obviously most of the time he's angry and wants to, you know, exterminate Titans, but it's kind of indirectly his fault. Obviously it's his dad's fault. Well, we still don't know why his dad did it, which. Also, I was thinking, like, why would he do it? Like, if the Rice family is good and was going to, you know, protect people from the Titans, why did Eren's dad do that? Because he does come across as, like, a bad guy. Like, did he do it for personal gain? Is there something we don't know? Which I'm assuming there's something we don't know.
Yeah, and it feels like he believes Eren could do it because he said in that split little scene, like, avenge our mother. Like, obviously the mother's death had nothing to do with the Rice family.
Right.
Really.
Well, maybe it could be like...
So I think it's like maybe he thinks he could pass that power on to someone that's not within their bloodline.
Right. Or maybe Eren's dad knew the Rice family had that power, but when, you know, the Colossus Titan and Armor Titan broke in, they refused to do anything. So he's like, why should you have this power if you're not going to help? So he, you know, took it for himself and gave it to Eren. That's something that's a possibility, I guess. Yeah,
my other thing was like, with the injection serum, I was like, because it seems to me they haven't really done too many experiments outside of the family bloodline. It's like, what if you were to inject that into Eren?
Like right
who already
now?
had, yeah, like would you get like the combined, like
I don't know. Maybe it would just force him into his Titan form. Or maybe he'd just die. I don't know. Too Titan.
it's like, oh, you're gonna give it to Historia, have her eat him. And it's like, it seems like maybe I don't know. It's just a lot of roundabout things we're going here in your storyline, Bryce. Like, I feel like there's some other ways you could do things.
I will say I really enjoyed Kenny throughout all this. Just
No, yeah, Kenny's
not
great.
giving a damn. He's like, oh, I want to see Titans fight. He goes and like
Yeah,
cuts Eren's head.
it's like you do this. It's like I'll free you. I'll let you talk. Like I just want to see where this goes.
He's just
And
like he's like part of the audience at that point. He's like,
yeah, he is. And Yuri is someone he had a strong connection with apparently because we'll see where because Rice kind of like insulted Yuri at one point, pissing Kenny off. But then later when he's like, on the ground where he's like he mentions Yuri kind of like in a pleading way, and
right.
it's like interesting that he
Rice
says something
Dad
about.
seems to not have a very good plan of action.
No.
I mean, oh yeah, we also learned, Kenny kind of wanted this Titan power, which he
Yeah.
learned he couldn't have. So, I mean, why would you tell your mass murdering machine that jokes on you, I'm not going to give you this, before you even did your ceremony? Like, isn't that a poor decision? To be like, yeah, I was joking about the whole thing, Kenny. I'm like, okay, well, you're fucked now, dude.
I'll say I kind of see. I want to see more where like Kenny goes. He is the most interesting character to me, and I, obviously he's our strong connection with the Ackermans.
Right. At
So
this
he
point,
knows
does
a
he
lot
even
more.
care about fighting them anymore? Because I assume he
Probably
was.
not.
I'll say
He
I
was just
assumed
doing
he.
it for this situation, but now it's already done with.
Right.
So it's like, in a way, like, well, now he's in a weird situation because Rice licked up the liquid and
Right.
became some like messed up. It's probably not going to work perfectly well because it's not being injected directly and it's not all of it. It's just like a little bit of it.
It could come out funky. I could see it like a half-assed Titan.
It's like
But I'm
he doesn't
assuming it's gonna
seem
be a
complete yet.
showdown.
And of course, Historia's mentioned how she's starting to hate humanity now at this point because it's like, yeah, you know what? Everyone you've been with have been like jackasses, really, like
Right.
it's complete greed, power hungry,
Like manipulative, all this.
they're just erasing everyone's memories for their own deeds. It's like,
I do like
you
how
know,
Historia has. She started off as this like cute little nice girl, and now she's like, "Fuck it, I don't care."
I'm here to slay everything.
Humanity, I don't give a shit about them. Eren, stop being a crybaby.
Um, yeah, there's not
I mean, that's
too
pretty.
much
It does
there.
end, Rice
Yeah,
licking Titan juices.
and then transforming a bit.
Right. So
Uh,
there's got to be a showdown, right? Aaron's
I
got
would
to
imagine so.
turn to Titan.
This is where someone maybe dies. Maybe Kenny gets caught in this because of what he decided to wait for. Or maybe Historia gets caught in it. Maybe Eren can't transform quite right, and the other squads have to come in.
Right. I mean, we haven't seen him transform since the whole, where he was getting kidnapped by Reiner and them.
Yeah, because they didn't work out too well. They were messing
Well,
with
yeah, we did see him transform, but he looked like a scrub. A scrub type.
he ain't there. So
He's having some performance issues.
they got some pills for that. Okay. But yeah, that's it. You want to jump into scores?
Sure.
Um.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll give it like 7.5. It's getting very interesting now, especially with the story and everything. Kenny's still a great character. I like how he's just kind of like and the background of manipulation kind of stuff. But the past stuff is interesting. A lot of this was just kind of your standard combat in the beginning, and then it's mostly a huge setup for what's going to be happening in the future. It's definitely just a huge setup. All of it is just huge stories that are going to have to be told to all these people. That's going to determine what people do.
Actually, I really like this episode. I'll give it 8.5, 9-ish. I really like the action. Of course, it's always stellar. They pride themselves on very good action. I will say the rap song was a bit weird, but the music later on was super good, so I'll say that. I really liked all the past stuff. It kind of filled in a lot of the blanks that we've had about humanity until then. It's like, well, it was this Titan that has this power and it's being passed. All this. There are still a lot of questions. So like why wouldn't Rice do it the first time? Like, why do they still want this power? All this. Kenny is hilarious. He's hilarious and a badass at the same time, which makes him lovable. And every time he's like, yo, Levi, I'm like, it just is like, it sounds so cool, and I don't know why. I do like how Historia has kind of, finally turned into like her own character, not just a little side character that needs help all the time. We saw a different side of Eren, so that was interesting. There's tons of questions, though. I want to know why Eren's dad stole the power.
Well, maybe we'll find out when they get to the cellar in 3 more seasons.
I'm assuming they got to get to I'm going to say it. I bet you they get to the cellar this season. If it's 25 episodes, which I think it is. I'm going to say they have to, right?
I don't know. That's like the main direction they have to go is with his father, right?
Well, let's say this.
Because they have to learn about the power and how to defeat and exterminate all the Titans, right? So they're going to have to unlock the memories or take Eren to the cellar to find out.
Right, because like, let's say Rice turns into a Titan, Eren turns into a Titan, Eren whoops his ass, okay? He kills him. What's next? We resolved the city stuff. We resolved like the political conflict. So the next conflict would be, I'd assume, well, they'd have to get to the basement because that's going to be an important piece of info. But the only next conflict, or I guess final boss, would be the Beast Titan and Reiner and those 3. Well, those Ymir, Reiner, Bertholdt, and the Beast Titan. I feel like the Beast Titan is maybe the leader, like the final guy. But we don't know what the other 3 are going to do. So we have to have like a piece of info for us to get to, unless a Beast Titan just shows up and starts smashing people, which I don't think he would. Because he seems kind of methodical the previous times we've seen him. Oh, well, we'll see. I'm trying to think what's next.
That is, I mean, yeah, they obviously have a leader like the others. So, because they kind of basically talked about it, there's no way they were just acting on their own the whole time. So,
yeah, it was like, who would do this by themselves? Or like, they were obviously bred to, try and destroy mankind. But sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting to know who gave them their powers, right?
Right.
Because Rice was very specific and they passed it down. They didn't really give it to anyone else.
That is true.
But of course, Eren's father somehow got it from somewhere.
And their Titan forms...
We know there was what? The Rice family, the Orientals didn't have their memory wiped. And it sounded like there was probably one more that wasn't mentioned. Because he said there was like, I think...
There were some royal bloodlines or something.
Yeah, so the ones that didn't get their memories wiped probably all have some source of way of getting the Titan power. And I'm guessing they all collected it from the first main one. Yeah.
And like Reiner's and Bertholdt's Titan's form seem to be more like combat suited. Like he's made of armor. Like, come on. That just says fighting. All the other Titans we see are just like normal flesh. Theirs are like super different. Well, and the Beast Titan, but he's his own thing.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, that does it.
That does it.
It's spiel time. We've gone too far.
As always, Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell down below to be notified every time we upload. Comment, let us know what you thought of the episode, what you did, didn't like, we'd score it, anything like that. Again, no spoilers, confirming or denying theories, as we are anime viewers only, and plenty others are. And we have a podcast, We Be Talking. Sure to check that out. Stream at twitch.tv. Links in the description below along with social media and a Discord. And until next time, peace out.
See ya.